Hey everybody, good morning. Hi Chaz, hi Tom.
Good
Hi,
morning,
Earl.
good afternoon, wherever you are.
Yeah, good evening, huh?
Yeah, so we'll give
All
it
right, well, I'm
another,
looking forward to this.
yeah, as always, great to be with you here, Tom, in our digital webinar, digital salon.
The digital world.
Yeah,
Let's just give it a few more minutes and then we'll get started. So we're getting some more people kind of filtering in, so give them a second and then give them one more minute and then we'll get started.
Uriel, I saw a really interesting, the NavViz VLX3. It's a LiDAR vest that you can wear and walk around construction sites. It's pretty amazing.
I was actually checking it out as well, and yes, it looks very interesting. I do know it's not meant to track like very large projects, but mainly like you're saying buildings and the internal of floors. And actually one of our customer partner showed us what they're doing with that. And it's quite nice. I mean, produces very good models and like 3D point clouds. Very cool.
Yeah, I'm working with a client in Boston that we're going to do a whole street and then compare it to the drone data. So I'm really excited about it. Should be interesting.
Yeah, sounds like.
Very cool. All right, well, we're now 3 after the hour, so let's go ahead and get started. Hi, my name is Chaz Ross-Monroe. Welcome to our webinar today. So first of all, thank you for attending. Thank you for getting here today, and we've got some really great content for you. So today, we're going to talk about how to elevate your infrastructure construction workflows with advanced drone laser mapping and data analytics solutions. Then we're going to get into a data BIM intro, and we're going to talk about how you can track your progress, detect the deviation, and prevent costly rework. We'll also get into embracing AI-driven construction to digitize infrastructure projects. Next, we'll get into implementing real-time progress tracking, anomaly detection, and rework prevention, followed by enhancing collaboration, minimizing uncertainties, and maximizing project efficiency. And last but not least, we'll show you how to achieve more with your existing resources in less time. So we'll cover all of this on today's webinar with lots of use cases. And we've got 2 experts joining us today. So first we have Uriel Shirazi, our Director of Sales Engineering, and we also have Tom Jennings, our Senior Solutions Engineer. And with that, I will go ahead and turn it over to our experts in today's topic.
Thank you very much, Chaz. And hi, everyone. My name is Uriel. I'm with Datumate for 3 years. I'm a civil engineer in my profession. I used to work in the construction of power plants, heavy civil, prior to working with Datumate. And very excited to be here today.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tom Jennings. I'm a private pilot. I've been building and flying drones for the last 12 years. I spent 2 years flying drones on the Apple Cupertino headquarters during the construction. It was very interesting working with the resident engineers and the BIM team to leverage the drone data. So I'm really excited to share all my experiences with people. Some of the things I'm working on in my spare time is trying to better understand how to use digital twins in the NVIDIA Omniverse right now, which I think is really exciting. So thanks
Just
for joining us.
a question for you, Tom. When do you have a spare time? I guess I need to wait that my kids will grow older a bit.
My kids are still pretty young, but I put them to bed early so I can study.
Perfect.
So yeah, let's go ahead and get started, everybody. First thing we'll talk about is digitizing infrastructure construction analytics. It's beneficial for all of the stakeholders across the project lifecycle, regardless of if it's the owner, the general contractor, or the subcontractor's organization. These stakeholders will see improved collaboration increased time savings, decreased risk, and greater efficiency. One of our customers found that by flying the site using an RTK drone from a secure location, they were able to decrease risk by keeping surveyors out of the way of heavy equipment. The drone data could be processed in hours and shared across the enterprise so that decisions could be based on real-time data. Progress is measured against the design files so that costly mistakes are discovered immediately or eliminated altogether.
Great. And Tom, you have mentioned some maybe words that not everybody know, like RTK and maybe some other expressions. So everybody feel free to ask us questions in the Q&A section if you have any. And again, Tom is an expert drone operator, drone pilot. We are more than happy to take you together through this digital journey. So right now I'll jump and share some examples from our customers and show you how they use Datumate in their day-to-day. The first example is with WSP in a project with the Jerusalem Light Rail or JNet. It's an expansion of the Red Line Light Rail and construction of a new green light rail project in Jerusalem. In this case, WSP was selected by the state or by the owner to manage and monitor this very complicated infrastructure construction project. And of course, as any heavy civil project, WSP was very much an important and integral part of the operation, with a wide role that included reviewing the project designs, monitoring the quality and progress of the project and the general contractor on behalf of the owner, making sure that the project is completed according to the specifications, of course. WSP contacted us, Datumate, since they wanted a solution that could help solve or prevent construction errors. They wanted one platform that would be future-proof against clashes, claims, which is a big issue as we hear from customers. And by showing consistent view of what is happening on the job site, they were thinking that Datumate will be the tool for them. Before I start with the real use cases, I'll share a quote from one of the power users in Datumate, Asaf Yaffe. He is one of the project leaders. He's also a civil engineer. He was the control manager, or still is the control manager at this project. And he was telling us, working with Datumate has been a great experience. It's an open conversation between us and the company. If I have questions, it's a very thin wall and I can share ideas, concerns, and in 1 minute I have answers. We're looking forward to using Datumate more across our next projects and introducing it to our wider team across Israel, continuing to spread the gospel. And indeed, we are now starting to work with WSP on more projects. In addition to that, we also see our customers as partners. We work with them together with our customer success managers and solution engineers. They are becoming one part of their team and really an integral part of the project.
Hey, Uriel, I had a question about your experience with WSP. What's your secret for engaging with the civil engineers? I've always found that that's the hardest part.
I agree. Everybody is super busy in their day-to-day. And I think that us as civil engineers and people that come from the site and know how to provide better solutions and automations, I think that just sharing our knowledge and sharing all kind of ideas that can help our customers to be more efficient, this is the best way to engage, to approach to the customer with all kind of ideas that will help him in his day-to-day workflows.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Maybe later, Tom, you will be able to share some of the work you do with customers, mainly in the US. But I think it's the same. It's the same anywhere in the world, I guess. So in the next few slides, we will review some of the use cases of the project. And the first one is an example where you see that the project managers or project engineers, they have overlaid the design of the underground stormwater. And as you can see, there is a deviation between the stormwater pit between the construction of it to the design. It wasn't too much of a big deviation to change or update the construction, to do rework, but they could have updated the red lines very soon and going or proceeding to the next stages much faster. Instead of, I guess most of you know, at the end of the project, you have this massive bulk of designs that you need to update, and you need to go over things that happened years ago. With Datumate, you can do everything on the spot and get over with. In this case, we see a more problematic issue. As you can see in the design in the image on the right, there are two stormwater drainage channels. You can see them in blue. But only one of them was constructed. If you take a closer look at the image on the left, you will see that only the right drainage channel was constructed. Lack of proper drainage during the winter time may cause water puddles that will affect the daily operation of the light rail, meaning the train will have to drive slower or maybe to stop from time to time. Of course, that's something that the owner cannot accept. Thanks to Datumate, the project team was able to construct the missing drainage channel on time rather than later, avoiding much more costly rework and delays to the project. In this case, the issue was identified by the owner that, of course, alerted the contractor. And we see that in this project specifically and in some other projects, the collaboration between the owner and the contractor becomes better, thanks and due to Datumate. Here is another example, also regarding the temporary traffic arrangement that was done in order to divert the traffic from the construction site. It's a very important example, and Asaf Yafe, who's the control manager of this project, he had identified a massive problem of traffic jams in this area that we see here on the screen. He told us that the only way for him to understand the source of the issue was overlaying the temporary traffic arrangement on Datumate's model. And indeed, Asaf saw that there is a shift in the location of the lanes. In addition to that, the lanes are much narrower than planned due to a wider sidewalk that you can see on the right side of the screen. It means that the traffic will have to drive slower, and it's a big issue for a multi-year project. They have updated the design. They made some shift to the lanes, and again solved the problem in a much faster and more advanced manner.
Yeah, being able to overlay these traffic management plans in near real-time visualization is such a great tool.
Yes, it's important also, Tom, because even if you have a surveyor on site every day, you cannot bring him to every location that you are in. And working with those designs in PDF, still it's very difficult to understand where you are when you are standing in the field compared to the design, even if you have them on your tablet. So it's still very, very difficult. So with Datumate, you can open it in your iPad, for example, or Android tablet, and then just overlay the designs, as you were saying, and just visualize the project compared to Datumate and try to understand and solve the problem on the spot. And here is another example, again, much narrower lane. In this case, we see a lane of 2.5 meters instead of 3 meters. It means that the traffic slows down, causes traffic jams more often. And again, something that for a project of 2.5 to 3 years, something that the city can't allow to happen. As part of the project, we provided to WSP weekly and monthly progress reports as per request. These reports were given to the users within 2 days from the flight date. In many cases, we hear from customers that they get engineering professional reports weeks and months after they had to receive them, such as project progress reports. It means that these reports they have no value when they're received like in a delay of a month or so. The reports that we have provided to WSP, they were shared across the stakeholders of the project and the decision makers. It helped them to take much more, or to make much more knowledgeable decisions, fast, on time, and to be more efficient, of course, and save money, improve the quality of the project at the end of it. Such reports are easily emphasize areas that are being delayed, giving the project manager critical information on time to solve problems earlier, which leads to reduced delays. In most cases, the project managers and superintendents, they request such reports to track the contractor's work and to see if the work is being executed as planned and as scheduled. The contractors, they also benefit from these reports since they provide good indication of the work pace, enabling them to estimate when the work will be finished and manage their monthly billing in a much more clever way. And I will show you some examples of the very simple reports, but very important. So the first one is a report that we see a progress of the piles or foundations of a supportive wall, very easily color-coded and served to the user. By adding the project plan or project schedule, users can get the percentage, the percentage progress and understand if they are ahead of time or late. Same report can be done for any element in the project, like the rake rack, as we see here, or again for any other elements like walls, road furnitures, and more. In this report, we see changes to specific elements between successive flights. For example, walls, color marks on the road or on the lanes of the light rail, manholes, curb lines. The project managers get the statistics of how the contractor progressed in the specific delta time. Visualizing the changes is in a very clear way, gives the project manager high quality data to monitor the contractor and the construction site. Another report is excavation out of site borders. The report shows in blue the borders of the project. And the purpose of the report is to track any amount of excavation that was done beyond the project boundaries. We actually took 2 flights, calculated the delta volume between the flights in the areas outside of the blue line, and provided this information to the WSP, the owner or the owner representative. The data is crucial for the owner since it allows monitoring overpayment to contractors and to protect the owner from future claims. So this is again very, very important report. Getting it on time prevents from the owner to overpay and then start fighting over money and payments. That's quite a headache. Another report is for billing confirmation, and it's touching a bit in the previous reports. But one of the most demanding tasks in the project lifecycle is to submit invoices and approve them. In total, about 5 or more percentages of the project budget goes for billing processes. Usually, the general contractor pays about 3% from each invoice on the work that is related to billing. In this case, the report is used for tracking the number of different materials that have been excavated or filled. It's a cut and fill report for different materials. It was used by WSP to verify the contractor invoices throughout the project lifecycle. Paying only for what has been done in the job site is very crucial for managing the overpayment and keeping the project on time and on budget. With this easy and automated report, owners can save large amounts of money, especially when speaking about earthworks, which is very expensive, including the labor and the materials. So a quick summary of what we learned about the WSP project and benefits of Datumate. Quality control, WSP, as well as other stakeholders of this multi-year complicated project, can now log into Datumate. They can look at plans, can see in a glance what happened until now compared to the schedule and to the design. It makes the quality control seamless. All of them have full visibility and accurate visibility of the job site. Everybody can see what is happening every time, especially the ones at the office that usually do not have this opportunity and point of view. They don't get to the site every day or every week. Stakeholders can see up-to-date reports, visualize the progress in ease. Better collaboration. As I have already mentioned, WSP use Datumate reports in team and status meetings, also share them with different employees in and outside of the company, as well as with the contractor. So all of that together is making the collaboration much easier. And of course, everybody can work from any place in the world. Time saving, historically, to take measurements, stakeholders would need to go on site, send surveyors multiple times to manually complete the work, surveyors, schedulers to update the project status. And with Datumate, everything can be done remotely and automatically. Intuitive interface. Datumate is a software, it's a solution, but the implementation of it is kind of like a tool. It doesn't require hours or weeks of training and implementation. With 30 minutes of training, you will be very much able to work on Datumate and get results within a day from the moment you're flying your drone. So now I wanted to speak and share some more information from another project with CPM. CPM is an owner representative of Tel Aviv municipality and the Israeli Land Authority. And in this project, or just a bit about the Israeli Land Authority in general, or the ILA, it manages most of the land in Israel. And as part of its role, the ILA oversees all the development work and the land under its ownership. In the case of Sde Dov project, that's the name of the project, CPM is responsible for all the aspects of the project management related to land development on behalf of the ILA, the owner. CPM is a privately held company with extensive experience in mega projects management in the residential, commercial, and office sectors. The Eshkol neighborhood occupies a prime location in Tel Aviv, one of the most expensive places in Israel by far. It is the first neighborhood of a large and complex mega project known as the Sde Dov Quarter. Prior to the construction of this new neighborhood, the Sde Dov airport was situated on this land. So there was an airport that they moved it, and now they're building a new neighborhood that will eventually consist of 16,000 units. More than 4,000 are residential, and the rest of them are allocated for commercial and other purposes. We were speaking with David Haynes, who is the project manager of CPM, and he told us that Datumate allows him to track his work conveniently and quickly from design to completion. Haynes believes that it's only a matter of time before this type of technology will be used for all infrastructure and construction projects in Israel. I can add also the world, of course. And all project owners, managers, supervisor will use digital software to monitor progress and get access to real site data. And the values that CPM gained from using Datumate are transparency and better collaboration. Prior to implementing Datumate, CPM had to rely on physical designs during the weekly and monthly meetings with the owner and the general contractor to present the project status. This made it more complex to demonstrate progress, and it was often challenging to locate the most updated designs. With Datumate, CPM can now easily present the project status to all stakeholders involved, enabling informed decision-making based on accurate site data. Grid elevation measurements. Datumate is used to measure grid elevations on specific dates and verify measurements provided by the contractor. In the past, this process involved sending a surveyor to the site using a traditional methods such as total stations and RDK GPSs. Now it can be quickly, accurately, and at no additional cost be done, helping to prevent conflicts with the contractors by clarifying and identifying all the deviations, and of course supervise the monthly billing. Another benefit is the ongoing quality assurance and control through comparison of execution to design and planning. For instance, when it comes to drainage channels, as we earlier saw with WSP, the platform is used to easily verify whether they align with the design. This is achieved by uploading the design of the platform to Datumate and comparing it to the actual execution in the field. And some more benefits and values. Another one is the improved accuracy in earthworks calculations and verification of contractor billing. The platform enables precise measurements of stockpiles, allowing for easy comparison with previous dates or the final design, the final grading, to determine the remaining work and the progress of what was already done. Contractors are aware that the platform is being utilized. So the platform serves as a kind of a barrier as the contractors know that they are being monitored and the measurements are being verified by the owner. So it's a kind of tool to make sure that no one is doing monkey business. Timely correction of deviations. By using Datumate, deviations are promptly identified and can be corrected in timely manner, eliminating the need to wait for contractors to report these deviations at a later and more dangerous stage to the project. That's on my side so far, Tom. Going over to you.
All right, thanks, Uriel. Yeah, I will mention I have a client I'm working with in Nevada, and he thinks that he's able to get his return on investment from the Datumate platform in as little as 3 flights on these large earthworks projects. He can save so much money by monitoring his subcontractors.
So it means that if he has one site, so it's like in 3 months or even less, he returns the investment over the platform. And if he has 3 sites, it's like in 1 month. So
right.
that's you don't need to wait years or very long months to see the ROI with Datumate. Thank you, Tom. Good comment.
Awesome. Well, let's jump right into a demo now.
Perfect.
So I'll speak about the platform itself. Datumate is a cloud-based solution, means that you can log in from a computer or tablet with an internet connection anywhere in the world. Once logged in, you're going to see all the projects assigned on a map, and you'll have access to a digital notebook on the left side for more information and images of the projects. Let's choose one of the projects and visit it. In the center, we see the 3D model from the given date. The model is georeferenced to the state coordinate system at a survey grade accuracy of down to 1/10 of an inch. Datumate supports any coordinate system, though, including local coordinates. We can zoom in and tilt the model. I can move my cursor and see the XYZ coordinates located in the bottom of the screen. At the top, you can see the timeline, and each of the bullets is another flight. We can track and manage our projects in a very efficient manner with this. On the right side, we see the toolbox with line tool, polygons, and point tools. On the left side, we've got a digital notebook with our analytics, measurements, annotations, and our design files. The Datumate, in order to add another flight, the user is simply going to click on the Add Flight button in the top right. We upload the drone images, CSV file with our ground control point, and it's a completely automated process. What I really like about Datumate is that no one else is going to see the data or interact with it. It's a completely automated workflow.
Yeah, and even if you share your links to your project with with your customers or other people outside of the organization, they will have to use a username and password. So all of your information is secured in AWS servers. So you can rely on that.
Yeah, so I'm about 10 months into a postgraduate course on artificial intelligence with Python at the University of Texas. And I am really excited about all the opportunities to implement artificial intelligence into the construction industries. Detecting things, objects, and point clouds, training models to improve analysis for infrastructure construction. At Datumate, we are already using artificial intelligence to auto-detect and mark the center of ground control points. We have trained a model to identify all of the major symbols used to mark control points. One of our clients preferred to use chevrons on the ground, so all we had to do is train our system to identify these new markings. Right away, your UAV and survey teams are going to experience big time savings when our platform is marking control points for them. So as the construction industry continues along this journey of digital transformation, there really are tremendous opportunities for companies to streamline their processes, increase efficiency, and retain their competitive edge. Databim's virtual ground control points save valuable time and money while maintaining the survey-grade accuracy of construction site mapping and modeling. Let's think about how we can use real-time kinematics and virtual ground control points to save time on the job site. So the initial setup involves laying out physical GCPs and manually measuring their locations. The Databim AI engine automatically identifies the physical GCP marking structure and center points. Beginning with the second flight, the Databim automatic georeferencing algorithm identifies features existing in both flights and creates a set of virtual ground control points. In every subsequent flight, a new set of VGCPs is created based on data gathered from the previous flight, eliminating any further use of physical GCPs. So, as noted, the virtual ground control point relies on the power of AI-driven automatic georeferencing and image processing algorithms. As soon as the Databim system creates the 3D photogrammetric model of the construction site, it begins matching up images and features that it recognizes from previous flights. We call these manual monuments. The more often flights occur, the more information the system can process and learn about the location, ensuring that the models take into account any changes to the terrain over time and remain enduringly accurate.
So Tom, in simple words, we need to go to the site the first time, mark the GCPs, then that Datumate AI will tag them for us in the model. And by the way, I'm starting to work with a new customer in Japan now with a new type of ground control points, and we are starting to train Datumate for this type. And from the second flight on, I don't even need to have these GCPs. Datumate will just find all of these elements in the project that have not been changed.
Yeah, it works really well for identifying like the corners of sidewalks and grates and identifying permanent objects that it can use as monuments. Yeah. Excellent system.
And something that we recently added is the ability to also add from your own monuments, like manual monuments. from the previous flight to this flight. So that's another way to increase or make sure that the accuracy is maintained as the first flight.
Yeah, what I like is all the surfaces line up. So flight to flight, we're seeing very tight, little deviation between the surface elevations, which is awesome.
Perfect. Okay, so I wanted to discuss a bit about an integration that we are having with Procore. This integration includes the connection between Datumate annotation or observation in Procore. So Datumate annotation is basically any user can open a geolocated point of interest in the model. It can be for safety, quality, or any other type that you will see in a few seconds. You can change the date, the priority, the type. There are many types. Assign it to the relevant stakeholder in the project and save it. Of course, this annotation is being saved in Datumate, but more importantly, it automatically will be exported to Procore as an observation, and all of the Procore users will be able to see it with all the details, dates, and also to add comments. It means that communication can be done between Procore users to Datumate users, even if not both of them have access to Datumate. So every comment that is added to Procore is being populated in Datumate annotation card immediately. It means that, again, collaboration and communication, tracking issues and observation, punch list, or any other items is becoming much, much easier due to this integration. We have completed this integration in the past few weeks, and we are now working on more integrations with other platforms. So you don't have to worry that your data that you generate in Datumate lies in Datumate. You can export it. We know that we are a part of the chain of the construction project, and we help our users to streamline their processes when they continue to work in other solutions.
Yeah, I think the Autodesk integration is really going to be valuable to our clients.
Yeah, I agree, and I assume we'll share some more information in the next webinars.
Well, thanks, Ariel. So now let's jump into design files. So one of the real differentiators for DataBIM is the work we do with design files. DataBIM supports multiple design formats such as DXF, DJN, DWG, LandXML, and IFC. Let's see, in this example, you can see a road design overlaid on the 3D model generated in DataBIM. Each layer in the design file can be turned on or off so we can focus on the layer we are working with. Typically, I like to focus on the alignments and the stationing so that we can measure offsets, alignment obviously being the backbone of the project. In the next example, we're going to take a look at a 3D IFC file. So I'm really excited about IFC designs. We can import buildings. It's just a great way to visualize what's going on. Owners love to see the 3D designs displayed in the existing terrain. Gives you a real feel for what it takes to build a design. Today, the 3D design is used to visualize the project, but in the very near future, we'll be able to make measurements against it, be able to pull cross sections and see what's going on underneath the surface. Huge value there. So making volumetric measurements inside DataBIM is fast and easy, and more importantly, reliable and repeatable. We can use the polygon tool to outline this stockpile and have an accurate measurement in seconds. This is a real time saver for project managers who need to report on quantities at the end of each month. Surveyors can also use the Delta elevation tool to identify specific elevation changes across the project. So you can see that we can also graph the data and add the other flights to be able to make these kind of comparisons very quickly and easily.
Yeah, very important. And this data can be, or the volume can be compared to any other surface, such as designs or surfaces that we have imported or previous flights, or any elevation that we type in. So that's a kind of a very important tool. Yeah, even though it's quite basic, but super important.
Yeah, to be able to make comparisons to the subgrades and the finished grade is just a real value proposition.
Yeah.
So, right in line with that is our professional reports. Datumate offers a suite of tools designed to make measurements and analytics simple and effective. The Datumate cross-section analytics tool allows our users to make a cross-section of any surface to visualize the elevations. You can then add other design surfaces or flights from the project so that you can monitor change or track progress. Our clients asked to create a cross-section volume report for the entire road project so that we can put our team in, and we put our team to work on that. We are using the power of machine learning to bring automated engineering reporting to the infrastructure construction industry. A key benefit of automating reports is the amount of time it saves in manual data wrangling processes. The removal of these manual processes frees up significant time for key staff, allowing them to focus on more important activities that enhance business insights and drive better decisions. I like to think we are putting machine learning to work, taking mundane and tedious jobs off the plates of engineers so they can focus on what's more important. So the cross-section volume report will generate tabular and visual volume calculations on the finished grade and subgrade surfaces against the existing 3D model. Now that the tool is automated, the report can be automatically generated as needed during the life cycle of the project. Very similar to the cross-section volume report is the grid volume heat map report. Moving earth is incredibly expensive, and we are giving our clients tools to perform mass haul analysis before the projects even start. Another automated report that Datumate is working on is things like grade checking. The grade checking is an important task in road construction. Since the road is built from layers over layers, the construction team must verify that it is built according to the design before progressing to the next one. Datumate allows its users to easily compare between the as-built, either from the 3D model or from traditional survey, to the design of the different layers. Datumate then provides an automatic report showing the delta between the design to the as-built. Once the delta is small enough according to the project standards, the team can progress to the next layer. This report and others save hours of work on the site and back in the office.
Thanks, Tom. And this is something that we keep saying and like echoing. We try to automate processes, and we want to save time for the people on site. That's very important for us.
I mean, who doesn't want to spend a little bit more time playing golf or playing with their kids, right?
Definitely. Yeah.
I think we covered the...
Yeah, I wanted to speak a bit about some more AI. And I wanted to share what we've done with one of our customers that is building dozens of substations a year. So together we have identified some elements in their substations, energization elements, and we have trained Datumate to identify their different stages and generating automatic reports after each and every flight. And it was done more or less by getting images from our customer of the different stages, as you can see here, the ground and the excavation in different images of the excavation, different stages of excavation, and concrete, different types, and later the steel installation and the electrical component itself. We also received the design, the 2D design, and the 3D, or let's say the faces of the energization elements. Then all of it together with the point cloud and the information we got from the drone allowed us to generate automatic reports after each and every flight. And for example, this report that shows the foundations of the project. So 10 foundations are in the ground stage, no foundations at all are in the excavation stage, and 4 piles were cast with concrete. Or this report, for example, that provides the following information: foundation completed in 14 elements, erection of the steel structure was completed in 4 elements, and the 93 elements were fully installed. These are only few examples of the automations that Datumate can bring to the construction industry using artificial intelligence. So, Tom, I think that maybe you'll speak briefly about the 4D, and then we can jump to Q&A.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to save some time for questions. I'll just touch real briefly on what the next step is for DataBIM, and it's our support for 4D. Means that users can upload the schedule to DataBIM platform from Microsoft Project or Primavera P6. Users can view the Gantt chart and the tasks, the critical path, and the amount of work that has to be done. DataBIM will allow users to tie the plan and design they have uploaded into DataBIM to the 3D model. In this case, we see a linear task, for example, excavation. The user can connect the design of the task to the Gantt chart. And then DataBIM provides the real progress in red compared to the planned progress in gray. This allows us to better monitor and track progress on the job site.
Yeah, so sorry, Tom, continue, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. I think it's going to be a really great tool for project managers.
Yeah, simply throw in the MS project or the P6 Primavera, and then get automatic updates on the progress from DataBIM. That's again spending some more time with the kids, or playing golf or skiing. Tom, you like skiing?
Ski season's coming, that's for sure. I'm excited.
Perfect. Not here, not for me. So yeah, I mean, I think we had a very interesting session. I'm not biased. We showed you today some real use cases from real projects, real customers, how they use DataBIM in their day-to-day, as well as some of the DataBIM capabilities. And now let's go for the Q&A section.
Yes, this was a great session, and of course, all of you that are on the line with us, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the webinar chat, or you can also put them into the Q&A. But I do have a couple of questions already. So one of the first questions I have is your service expensive?
Who wants to take that one?
Yeah, go.
I mean, I think our service is very affordable when you look at the time savings and efficiency it can bring to these projects. You know, obviously there is a upfront cost for our software, but when you start to save your surveyors huge amounts of time, they're able to create these digital twins of their construction sites. And what I really find is a valuable time saver is that the engineers are now able to log into DataBIM and pull out these measurements very quickly and not bother their survey teams at all, which is a real game changer. You know, we're not trying to replace surveyors by any means. They're a critical component to these projects, but what we're doing is making their lives a lot easier, saving them huge amounts of time.
Yeah, I'm laughing because we hear a lot from customers that from surveyors that they don't really like that the engineers bother them for calculations. So I think the surveyors, they want to implement that Datumate. So all the other stakeholders and team members will be more independent. So that's kind of a nice change, I think.
Great. We all like to save money and time, so it sounds like this can do both. How complicated is it to start using Datumate or Databim?
Yeah, Tom, go ahead. You're the one who is doing most of the onboarding and implementation, so you can speak about that.
It's that's what I really like and appreciate about Datumate. It doesn't take a black belt like for instance Civil 3D to get started in Datumate. It's got a very intuitive interface. You've got your toolbox, you've got your flights, you've got your digital notebook. Almost anybody can understand this in just a few sessions. We've got this new online training that I'm putting together. It's going to be a series of video modules that you'll be able to watch and really quickly understand how everything works. But what I find is that when we put this in front of engineers, they can almost intuitively just understand the layout and how things work. There is a little bit more of a learning curve for some of our automated engineering reports, but we have a really white glove session and service here. I spend time with the engineering teams and help them generate the first few engineering reports, and then after that, they're just off to the races.
Excellent. I'm really glad that you brought up the course too, because I'm really excited about that. So we're launching that in December. So we'll, everybody who is on this webinar today, be on the lookout for on social and email that we'll be dropping that in your inbox once it's ready. So really excited about that. I did get another question. What is the level of survey accuracy when using the drone?
Tom, I think you should get that as well.
Our goal is 1/10 of a foot. So, we recommend RTK. I think about 50% of the states actually have a DOT free RTK service, or you can also sign up for things like SmartNet. There's a lot of different options out there. You can even stream RTK directly from your base stations in most cases. So the RTK in combination with the ground control is what's going to give you that really high accuracy, reliable data though. So I work directly with the survey teams to identify permanent locations on the ground so that we just mark these things once, and very, very simple workflow.
And Tom, one thing that is important to mention or to explain is also the elevation of the flight and the quality of the drone's camera. Usually we recommend flying at about 50 to 60 meters when using 20 megapixel camera to get that accuracy. And of course, the higher you fly, you lose resolution. So that's something that's also important to mention.
Yeah, that's why I really like that M300 with the P1 camera, being able to fly at 120 meters and just cover huge areas very quickly is
it has a
very nice option.
Camera.
Yeah, it's a 42 megapixel camera, so your ground sampling distance, even at 120 meters, is still down to about 1.5 centimeters. So
okay, so it's good enough to get that accuracy. Understood.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Okay.
Wow. Things are changing so fast in the amount of, in accuracy and just how it's improving over, it's just kind of impressive. What if I need to connect other solutions and extract data from Databim?
Okay. Yeah, good question. And we actually touched a bit on that in the Procore integration. And I've also mentioned that we don't see Databim as a siloed solution where you need to do everything in. Of course, we offer suite of engineering reports and automatic processes. But if you do need to export your data to your SAP or other solutions, or other project management software, you will be able to do that using the exports or the downloadables, CSV, DXF, or any PDF reports that you will be able to share with your stakeholders. And of course, we also have an open API that you will be able to do it in the backend if it's something that is relevant for you. There are organizations that have their own solutions that they want that Datumate to integrate with, and that's where the open API comes in hand.
All right. Well, we're getting to the top of the hour, so I think we've got time for just one more question. And I do have one more. So, of course, you guys did a lot of great examples of and use cases for Databim, but which type of project does your solution fit or work best for?
Tom, you want to take it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I like is that we're really focused on infrastructure construction and heavy highway. Being able to cover large areas. We can we have a max image count of 10,000 for our uploads, which allows you to cover very large linear highway sections. But honestly, it works. Our platform works great for aggregates, works great for mining. I mean, there's a ton of use cases out there, but our focus is certainly heavy civil. And I know that the team and of our computer scientists and civil engineers, that's their focus as well. What are your thoughts, Uriel?
I agree. I mean, our founder and CTO is coming from the heavy civil and road industry with PhD in surveying and geoinformatics. And I think that the cross-section progress report that we are automating, and the grid report and the grade checking, all of these are mainly used for the road and rail projects. And I think this is where also the impact of Datumate can be very useful, because these are like projects of dozens or hundreds of millions of dollars. And one small mistake, we saw many examples where a mistake that Datumate has identified saved 2 or 3 weeks or months of the project critical path, which translates into hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. So I think this is where the ROI of Datumate is the greatest.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Tom, I didn't mean to. Do you have one?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, yeah, I totally agree with Uriel. Especially that cross-section volume report can save people a huge amount of money and headaches.
Yeah.
All right. Well, today has been a great webinar. Thank you again, Tom and Uriel, for putting this on for us. And thank you for everyone who attended today. I will be following up with a recording. So if for some of you that are watching this later, you'll get that soon. Again, just thank you everyone for attending today. And if you have any questions, you can also reply to that email as well. And I'll make sure that I ask the appropriate expert to help you out. So thank you again for attending, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Thank you very much.